Howdy, this is Bonita Creek RC, and today we're going to put a bunch of upgrades on my Arrma Fury. This thing, it handles really good. It tops out at like 20 miles an hour, and like it has some good punch off the line, but it just doesn't go fast enough on the top end. So we're going to fix that. This is a Hobby Wing quick run brushless system. I think it's a 10 BL 120 ESC, and then a 3660, it's a 3700 kV brushless motor. So we'll have to see how that does. I'm guessing I'll probably end up running this on 3S, but right now I only have 2S batteries for it. Man, I'm excited to look at this motor. Oh, the motor and the thing are separate in there. That's interesting. Oh, there it is. So it's a 3660. I think that means it's 36 millimeters wide and then 60 millimeters long, like the rotor inside, but I'm not sure. So don't quote me on that. I'm not quite sure how the motors are sized and whatever, but I think 3700 kV will be good. So I haven't driven any 1/10 scales that had a whole lot of power, so I didn't want to go with something crazy. Okay, I didn't even have to take that out, but man, this thing is sweet. Man, it's interesting how like easy these cables bend. Oh man, look at that shaft. I think this is a 5mm shaft, so that's not going to break at all. Well, that's kind of hard to turn. So this is going to be a powerful motor there. Yeah, this is a Hobby Wing quick run 10 BL 120 amp. So it's 120 amp ESC. Has a cooling fan up here on top. XT60 plug. This is gonna be cool. And then to replace the rest of the electronics for this, I got a Radio Link receiver for it. I have a Radio Link RC4GS, and this receiver has the gyro, so I'm probably gonna set up the gyro on that. And I got this Surpass Hobby cooling fan. This is a 40mm fan, and these had really high reviews, and I think that'll keep the motor nice and cool. And I got this spacer. I think it's gonna need it, but I'm not sure. Hopefully it does, because I don't want to pay for something and not need it. Okay, I'm gonna drive it around a bit just to show you how much power it has. The motor is kind of damaged a bit. It got rocks up in it, so I had to kind of shake those out, but let's see what it does. Okay, gonna try and get top speed coming back. That was about as fast as it usually gets. It doesn't get much faster than like that 20 mile an hour mark. So this is just a little running around to show you how fast and like what the power feels like on it brushed, so we can compare it how it is brushless. I know it's going to be a big difference. Okay, got the body off, and I think I'm going to need this spacer so that the wires clear the side. Yeah, I may or may not need it, but I think I'll need the spacer so that these wires clear this plastic here, and so that it doesn't hit. Let's get some stuff swapped in there. Alright, I got all the electronics put in, and I was having some problems with the gyro. Just on the bench here, it was going the wrong direction, and I drove it around the backyard a bit, and every time I would turn, it would turn the tires into it, and then it'd do donuts. So I got that switched, and it should be ready to go now. Yeah, it's stuck down pretty good. I don't think any of the electronics here are gonna come off. This fan moves a ton of air. I'm real impressed with it, and I think it's gonna keep it all cool. The motor, it does pretty good. I'm not quite happy with how much engagement there is between the shaft and the pinion. I did have to move, since I ran that spacer on the motor, where I had to slide the pinion out, and it's about 6 millimeters of it is not on the shaft. There's still some good engagement on the shaft, but it's not as much as I'd like. I'd like the shaft to be flush with the end of the pinion gear, but it's not. Yeah, I think it's all ready to go. I'm gonna try it on 2 and 3S. I'm probably just gonna be running it on 2S for a while, just to get the hang of it. Driving something 2-wheel drive with this much power. But I think it's good to go, so let's go take it for a rip. Alright, back on the bench. Man, that was fun. This thing has a crazy amount of power. It's at least double. And on 3S, it's probably quadruple the power than it was stock with the nickel metal battery. I don't even know how fast it's going. I'm guessing like 45, but still that's crazy on the dirt roads. I didn't really want to put the money into a brushless system for this because the Arrma Fury 223S brushless version came out and it only cost $50 more than this one stock when I got it, so I didn't want to put $160 in electronics in it when I could get similar performance for $50 more by buying the brushless version. But I wasn't gonna go buy a brushless one and have this one, and I didn't really want to bother with selling this, so I just decided to bite the bullet and put the electronics in it. I did consider a Spectrum brushless system for it, but I decided to go with the Hobby Wing. I just think it's going to be better because it has more adjustability with the ESC. You can plug a program card into it and adjust all kinds of stuff, but you can't do that with the Spectrum system. I did go up 2 teeth with the pinion gear, so instead of a 14 tooth, it's a 16 tooth. So I think the gearing is about right. It doesn't cog at all on the bottom end like when you first start rolling into the throttle, but it's just crazy on 3S. I don't have any of the right batteries to run it on 3S. I used it on some of the batteries I have for my crawlers, my 1/10 scale crawler. It's a 2200 milliamp and it burned right through that real quick. But I don't know, I think I'm good with it on 2S for a while, just because I want to get practiced up with the handling that much speed before I go to get a full 3S battery and run that. But all in all, it handles really good and it's just crazy power. I think the rear tires are gonna survive. I don't think they're gonna blow off the wheel though, so that's good. I want to thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you like what you see, and we'll see you in the next one.